You guys remember that scene in Revenge of the Sith where Hondo Onaka stops Lord Vader at the Jedi Temple? I don't know about that, but he does here. What's going on, Knights of Vex, and welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to talk about Hondo Onaka, Pirate King Hondo Onaka, that just dropped a couple days ago. And to be honest with you, his performance is somewhat mid. I did a bunch of squad arena testing, I got to talk to a bunch of other creators about it, and he's not performing the way we wanted him to. So, not really happy with that, but today, we got to talk about him in the Order 66 raid. So, Pirates, whole lore accurate thing, not really a thing, but they're here to stay, they're in the game, and they're needed for the Order 66 raid. So today, we're going to talk about Pirate King Hondo Onaka and a 3-man max score on Relic 9 tier for the raid. You do not have to Relic 9 all of your pirates to get this done. I got it done with 3, and the good thing about it is one of them is a requirement for Hondo already, and then you're going to want to have a Relic 9 GL Hondo anyway. So, other than that, you got to bring up one character to Relic 9, and it's not a bad character. It's SM33, a Conquest character who hits extremely hard, and you're not going to get any bad value out of that. I think they're a really good trio going forward, even for Grand Arena and other game modes. So, no complaints, no problem with me gearing them up or taking them to Relic 9, but pretty much that is the trio, guys. We're going to get into the modding, the strategy, the guide, all of it today. So if you guys do find this content helpful and you find this video to help you in the raid and you want to see me grow, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel, guys. That is the best way to support me and shows you appreciate the content, so I do appreciate it. We're going to go into the modding really quick to talk about how I have these guys modded, and then we're going to get into it a little bit of the strategy and the tips. So the first person we're going to talk about is Pirate King Hondo Onaka, and his modding is pretty much all the same. You're never going to have to remod for this because this is the same modding that I'm doing in Grand Arena as well. So pretty much, Pirate King Hondo Onaka, you're going to want to have a speed set with I put health secondaries because it just makes him a load tankier. And the way I have him modded currently, regardless of any game mode, I have him modded very tanky because he can hit pretty hard later on in the game, but he's a support character, not really meant to do a ton of damage. So I kind of gave him really high defensive stats. So all protection on the primaries. Just wanted to make him fast. I got him exactly at 600 speed. So I'm going to recommend for you guys, anything over 600 speed is going to be very good for Pirate King Hondo Onaka. Again, you do not have to remod for this at all. If you guys wanted to go for a little bit more of a damage route, you could mod him for damage. Not essential for the strategy we're about to show you. So 600 speed, he's going to go first in the turn order, Relic 9. The second character we have to talk about is going to be regular Hondo Onaka, and this guy's already required at Relic 9 for the new GL, so there's no issues with that. Going to be up and running anyway. This is the same exact modding how I have Hondo for Grand Arena. I have a speed set with health secondaries and primarily damage on the primary. So you're going to have crit damage on the triangle, offense on the cross, and then either HP or protection on the circle. Everything else is pretty much standard. You want to make sure he's around 270 speed. Not that hard to achieve with the speed set. He's going to end up going second. He may not be the third fastest on the team, but with his turn meter manipulation on his basic ability, he'll end up going second. But I have him modded this way just because I don't have to I don't want to change mods, and I was able to get it done with this bare minimum speed. So just showing you what exactly I worked with. 270 speed. He's technically second in the turn order, even though he's modded the third fastest. So that leaves the last character for the strategy, SM33. Now, SM33 is a very hard-hitting damage dealer, and yes, they are a Conquest character, still very good, hits extremely hard. The way I have SM33 modded is going to be an offense set with health secondaries, because those are my fastest secondary sets. If you have crit chance, good for you. I don't have the high crit chance secondary speed with those mods, so health was fine for me. I had crit damage on the triangle, offense on the cross, and then HP or protection on the circle does not really matter. I had SM33 at 280 speed exact, I believe, so I'm going to recommend anything over that. You could probably get away with a little bit slower, but I just want to show you what I was working with at the, I don't want to recommend anything lower than what I was working with, but even though it could possibly work, I want to show you exactly what worked for me. So, offense set, health secondaries, pretty much damage on all of the primaries. So that's going to take care of the modding. Now, what I want to do is show you a little bit of the mechanics of the kits, of how exactly I got this work. So we go to Pirates. You're going to see here, I'm going to show you all in the video, but if you go to GL Hondo's lead, he's very fast. Like I said, I have him at 600 speed, just like I showed you. This ability here is extremely helpful. He's going to grant the team a bunch of turn meter and call your pirate allies to assist twice, which is extremely helpful for in the beginning, because not only are they going to get a crap load of turn meter, but it's going to prepare your team to hit very hard and also get the turn order right. So if you go to here to Hondo, when he's assisting, it says if the enemy is dark side, Hondo gains 10% turn meter. So that's going to help him outspeed the SM33. And pretty much that's why Hondo goes second, is because of that basic right there. I just wanted to show you a little bit of the mechanics there. Your SM33 is going to be hitting extremely hard. All of these abilities are really, really hard hitting. This second special here is really good because it applies buff immunity, burning, and it is a buff dispel. It's very helpful for some situations where you have to take care of the clones that have retribution, because if you get counterattacked, the strategy is kind of cooked. So I just wanted to go over those mechanics really quick. Those are pretty much the simple ones. Pirate King Hondo Onaka, by the way, is only going to be using his basic and his second special. He's never going to use Loot First Escalator. It's never, ever really needed unless you need a buff dispel. But with this strategy, it's never going to come into play. It's pretty much the basic and the second special. So with the strategy and the modding out of the way, we're now going to get into the gameplay, guys, and show you how exactly it is done. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to show you two different variations of the battle with the same exact strategy to show you how it's really not very heavily RNG dependent. I guess the only RNG factor is that sometimes they'll blow up your SM33, but the battle is still winnable if your SM33 goes down. You can even two-man it with just Hondo and Pirate King Hondo Onaka after a certain point of the battle. So if you lose SM33, it doesn't matter. But I want to show you the most consistent runs. I've done this about 15 times in a row. I have it narrowed down in my head. So it worked almost every single time. I think there was one time SM33 went down, and I still was able to get max score. So let me show you the strategy, guys. This is the Relic 9 tier max score. So I'm going to take this slow for you and show you the exact strategy. So here, first things first, what you want to do is you want to target Fox on the left. Very important. Fox is very annoying, can lower the stacks of Lord Vader's passive where he's going to kill one of the Jedi. You don't want him going. You don't want him doing that. So what you want to do is, the first thing is, he's going to do his second special, where that's going to grant your team turn meter, and they're going to assist twice. So you're going to see here, bunch of turn meter gains, and boom, our Hondo is second. So we were able to chunk Fox, and Hondo goes second, even though he's modded the third fastest. What you want to do is you're going to want to now target Appo on the right and put captive on Appo. He can no longer remove buffs. He's out of commission. This is really, really good. Now, SM33 is going to go third. What you want to do is the second special. What that's going to do is it removes the buff, Retribution, so no counterattacks, and applies buff immunity. That means no more Retribution for the rest of his turns. Not going to really come into play, but there's no counterattack from Fox, so that's extremely helpful. Now, next up, your Pirate King Hondo Onaka goes, boom. You do a basic onto Fox, which causes 2 allies to assist, 2 pirate allies. Once you do that, boom, Fox is gone. Easy cake. Now, they're going to take a couple turns. Now, here, you're going to see, I don't show the exact turn order yet, but I know that my Pirate King Hondo is going next. So what I do is, I don't use the event special yet. I want to try to get Appo down a little bit more. So what I do is, I go over here, I call Pirate King Hondo to assist on Appo, and boom, that's a lot of damage. Now here, Pirate King Hondo Onaka is going right after SM33. So Appo cannot counterattack if he's put under captive. So I go for the middle special on SM33 and go whack, whack, whack on Appo. He doesn't go down because you don't want him to go down yet, because if Appo goes down and Hondo has less than 10 stacks of ransom, he's going to evade the battle. You don't want that to happen. So even with that big hit, Appo is still alive, but we want to make sure he doesn't go down until our Hondo has over 10 stacks of ransom. So here, I'm going to go here and do the event special, which is going to increase the stacks on Lord Vader's passive so you don't lose a Jedi. You want to do it with Hondo. That's exactly how it goes every single time with the modding I'm showing. So here they're going to do their thing. Bunch of AoEs. Now here, this is the next big thing. Let me go back a little bit. Play that again. So he does the event special, but I want this to be, this is an important step. You see how that has that little blue icon right there on the clone? That's because they attacked Pirate King Hondo, and I believe SM33 is a cause in his kit, where if the Jedi or an enemy attacks your leader, then he gets a special buff or mechanic. So you want to attack the clone that has that and remove the buff. So what you do is you do the second special here, which is going to remove the buffs and apply buff immunity. That's going to be very helpful for later on when you want to attack a clone and not get counterattacked by retribution. So that's very nice. Now here, I can afford to attack that clone. I could have attacked Appo, but I didn't. So here, it doesn't matter. If I went for Appo, I probably would have got rid of him. He couldn't have attacked us anyway because we had outmaneuver. So there's no counterattacking that. But there, I go for a basic on the clone that didn't have retribution. And Pirate King Hondo is going to basic Appo on the right. And Appo is gone. Now here, I'm attacking the clone that has buff immunity because I don't want to get counterattacked. That's the whole point of it. Now here, we go for a basic that's going to remove turn meter, which is pretty nice because that means you're not going to go for an attack. I do a basic here, the clone's gone. Now the thing here is you want to target the characters that don't have retribution. The disguised clone troopers are the most important and most biggest pain in the butt. So you gotta get rid of them. So I use Hondo to do, okay, I do the event special there, but I see the turn order. I want to go for the clone that's going next, because the stacks are getting really low. That's a mass swarm, boom, gone. They all gain turn meter. That's a extra bunch of assist, and boom. We were able to get through phase 1 with 2 stacks of the passive on Lord Vader. So after this, the battle is a breeze. It's not hard at all. So there, I go for the buff immunity on disguised clone troopers. You want to make sure you just get rid of them as quickly as possible because they're very annoying with their stealth. But as you can see here, I'm literally never using Pirate King Hondo's middle ability. It's not needed. His basic does more than enough, calls your pirate allies to assist. They do a ton of damage, as you can see. Not getting huge crits from SM33, but he's doing enough damage there. That's a cleanse and a turn meter gain. So, didn't really need it for that point of the battle, but I knew after this, it was going to be an absolute breeze. So there, once you get past the first wave, it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. So there, I could go for the captive. It's not needed. You do the middle special on your SM33, and they can't do a thing. It's just very easy. I don't have to Relic 9 all of my pirates to get this done, which is nice because I didn't really want to Relic 9 them anymore anyway. I'm not a big fan of this whole era thing, regardless, but the fact that I can get a max score with only 3 at Relic 9, which characters that are going to be pretty good going forward, no problem at all. One of them was a requirement. One's a GL, you're going to want them at Relic 9 anyway, and SM33 is a Conquest character, so not bad at all. So guys, that is going to be the first run of the raid. I'm now going to show you a second run to show you the consistency of the battle and pretty much play it without any pause just to show you. So let's get to it. So now I'm going to show you guys the second battle where it's the exact same thing. I'm not going to pause it at all, but it's the same strategy. Mass Swarm on Fox, always. They get called to assist twice. Turn meter is gained for Hondo. He's going to go second. You put the captive on Appo. Then, over here, you're going to remove the buff off of Fox and apply buff immunity and burning. Basic with Pirate King Hondo, Fox is gone. Don't have to deal with him anymore. Now, you're going to see that I go for a big hit here on Appo. He's not going to go down. Over here, I call SM33 to assist instead. It doesn't really matter. You can do Pirate King Hondo, you can do SM33. Doesn't matter here. Do the event special with your Pirate King Hondo. There, I go for a buff removal on the clone that attacked my leader. So the buff immunity lands. That's crucial. Now there, get rid of Appo. Boom. The 2 sides are gone. Now, it's pretty much dealing with these clones before you lose all the stacks on Lord Vader and he kills a Jedi. So there, they're at 4 stacks. Gotta be careful. I don't want to get counterattacked, so I use the event special. There's 2 stacks now. But I know when Pirate King Hondo goes, he's going to generate turn meter to your team and do a cleanse. Boom. Just like that. Now, I don't want to get counterattacked, so I just do a basic here. I know it's enough damage. There, I call my Pirate King Hondo to assist. And he dodges. Now, still, you see how close it was? We got down to 1. Got down to 1. He was so close to getting the Jedi down, but we were able to get it done. So, Could be a little close, but if it always works out somewhat the same. Get rid of the Disguised Clone Troopers first. Always, the basic is your friend. Deals the most damage, calls your pirate allies to assist. That's the way to do it. Over here, just get rid of the clones as quickly as you can. Stick to basics on Hondo after the first wave. You don't really need Captive. If you want to stall out the battle, you can, but it's not needed at all. And also, his ultimate, guys, never comes into play. It's never needed. I've never had to use it. I tried it a couple times to see if it did anything. It does nothing. You barely even get it up until, like, the last wave anyway. But it's really... It does nothing for you. You can get this done without his ultimate if you don't have it unlocked yet. And I know this isn't going to be accessible to a lot of the player base yet, but once you guys do end up unlocking Hondo down the line, this is a very easy 3-man for the raid. So keep your heads up once you do get Pirate King Hondo. You want to get high in the Order 66 raid. This is a great team to do it because one's a requirement, one's a GL, and one's a very powerful Conquest character. So guys, I hope this helped you. I hope this helped anyone that does have Pirate King Hondo unlocked. I'm going to be using this going forward. I don't have to do the 3-man clone anymore because that is a RNG fest of total nonsense. Even the Bad Batch is really annoying at times. I don't have to remod for that. I can get 4 maxed out teams at the moment with no remodding. So this is going to be really game-changing for me going forward. I hope it helps you guys. So please, 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 if you guys found this useful, if you want to use this going forward once you do unlock him, leave a like on the video, leave all your comments down below, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel to become a Knight of X. And I'll see you guys in the next video. May the Force be with you all.